So this is how to play a deck properly for the first time, because you'll be in a scenario where somebody would give you a deck, or you'll borrow a deck, especially if you're just playing for fun with a friend and you borrow one of his decks just to play, or you just bought, like maybe you bought a structure deck, like maybe you bought 3 structure deck, you built a deck, and you chose certain specific cards. So you don't yet know how to really use the deck to its fullest. So hopefully these will be tips that will be useful for you to learn how to play a deck properly. This is what I do when somebody gives me a deck for like the first time. The obvious thing is you'll want to look, at every card they have, their extra deck. You want to look through them, and hopefully you should have a pretty good idea of what a Nightmare Phoenix does, so you don't have to, read the card. But if you have to read the cards as fast as possible. Don't take too long, especially if the idea is that you're trying to do a quick duel. Maybe you were challenged to a duel. Somebody's like, "Oh, you're not good at Yu-Gi-Oh!" It's like, "Yes, I am." "Well, duel me." "Oh, I don't have a deck." "Well," and then one of your friends, let's say, like, "Well, I got a deck here. Use my deck." It's like, "All right, use your deck." Well, you're gonna need to know how to be able to, use that person's deck real quick, because you gotta realize you didn't build the deck. So that's the whole point. You didn't build the deck. You don't have, a lot of time practice with the deck. You just got it, and you have to get good with it as quickly as possible. If you've been playing this game long enough, that should be relatively easy. You should know how to link summon, so that shouldn't be something you need to learn. You should know that already if you're playing the game. As well as exceed summon, synchro, all that good stuff. Pendulum summon. You should know the basics of the game. But then here's where it gets advanced, because the advanced thing is figuring out what your opponent's strategy, the deck strategy, finding out what the person who will lend you the deck intended for you to do. Same thing as like when a new archetype comes out, you gotta figure out what the archetype does. You gotta figure out what, what's the initial intention of the deck. What was the strategy? If the deck's control deck, is it about negations like the Notoria archetype is mainly about negation, or is it about doing OTKs with like Cosmos or something? Because the whole ability to banish and summon something else and then attack with that, and then banish and summon something else and attack with that. Obviously that will lead to an OTK strategy, but you gotta figure that out. You gotta find out that that's the strategy, and then learn, practice, do it. But sometimes you don't have time to practice, and that's the whole point of being able to play a deck properly for the first time. You have to try to figure out what the deck is supposed to do, as opposed to just trying to play the deck the way you normally play any deck. Where some people, they just look at their hands, like let's look at this hand, for example, and then just automatically assume that, one, they'll be like, "Oh, this looks bad. I'm not used to these types of cards, blah, blah, blah." Like, yeah, you're not, but the person who built the deck is, and they have the cards in the deck for a reason, so you... Alright. So you gotta figure out what you can do with this hand. So, we got the magical mallet, so obviously we can make this hand better. Try to read the card effects as quickly as possible. You try to get the basic idea of what the card can do. This says, you tribute to summon a Ray Raptor monster from your extra deck. This is Ray Raptor deck, so you got that much knowledge of what the deck is about. Then you can try to figure out, what else you can do. It's like this can summon it, and what can we do with that? Then we got Full Force Virus. Requires a dark monster with 2,000 more defense in order to activate this card. So it's like, okay, need to get a monster on the field. This dark is 2,000 more defense in order to use this, and then this has a really good effect that lasts for 3 turns. Right? So right there's a potential combo. But the monster this brings out, based off of the effect, doesn't stay permanently on the field. It will eventually leave the field. So it's like, okay, so can't combo these as is. Got to do something extra with this. You got red screen, dark bribe. So you got You got defense. You got spell and trap negation. So that's always good. So right now this hand looks decent, but it's like it could be better. So how can I make it better? Now I already know what I would want to do, because obviously this is my deck, but it's the fact is like, well, this can bring something out, so I'll accept the normal summon, use my normal summon for that, and then it's like, okay, I want more stuff to play with that, so I'll play a magical mallet to put these 3 cards back in the deck. Put them back in the deck so I can play the hand. Well, first I gotta draw the cards before I can play the hand, obviously. Alright, so now got my 3 cards. Now let's see, what can I do with this hand? Alright, exactly what I want. So now I see it's like, okay, there's a Thunder Dragon. Why is there a Thunder Dragon in a Ray Raptor deck? You know what I mean? So when something like that happens, it's like, okay, there's a purpose for this. I wonder what it is. But right off the bat, it tells you what it can do. You can discard it to add a copy of itself. And you can do up to 2. So you can discard this copy to get 1 copy. Then the new one has the same effect, discard it, and you can keep doing that, and you can fill up the graveyard with Thunder Dragon. So it's like, alright, well, right now I can just thin out the deck, because that's obviously what it does. And now, because I have more access in the deck, let's say I didn't get a chance, I could easily look at my extra deck, but I couldn't look at the main deck, because for some reason I'm in a situation where I'm not allowed to look in the deck, right? I have to play the deck without looking in the deck, and I have to figure it out, right? As part of the situation, I have to figure out the deck. The fact that I used Thunder Dragon, now I can look in the deck. Now I can, take my time, not too long, because then they'll be stalling, right? Not take too long, just glance through it real quick, like, okay, 1-for-1s, more Thunder, there's Thunder Seahorse in here, more Raid Raptors. Yep, I'm seeing, Eradicator, okay, Foolish Bear, okay, I get it. I see some rank up magic cards in here. I get the idea. This is a rank up Raid Raptor deck. Gotcha. With some Thunder Dragon cards in there for some reason. You know what I mean? And then you just shuffle play, and it's like, alright, so this is your hand now. Granted, these have no use at the moment except for the discard file, right? But you just thin out the deck, so that way you get to your other cards. And then now, this is a really decent hand, because you get to tribute this to use this effect, and then you look through your extra deck and you're like, okay, how this works. And then it's like, this lets me rank up 2 levels. So then this is in rank 8, this is a rank 10. So that must mean I must supposed to summon the satellite cannon, and then play the rank up on satellite cannon, because that's how rank up magics work, right? Obviously. But for those that ain't obvious, obviously you read the card and you'll find out that that's how it works. And then it's like, alright, I use that, and now I have Ultimate Falcon. Ultimate Falcon has really, really awesome effects. It's ultimate. So it's unaffected by spells, traps, monster effects. And if my opponent has no monsters on their side of the field during the end phase of a turn, they take 1,000 damage once that end phase. Set my recall, so now I have some effect negation. In case they have the honest, right? They summon a monster, like, oh, attack, damage, Cal to honest, bang, recall, protect my Ultimate Falcon. You almost beat him, but I have defense. Alright, so now I have Ultimate Falcon doing his thing. Dealt my opponent 1,000 damage because I went first. He took 1,000, so I already am doing good. I already did some stuff. I made a pretty decent play. I have these, these are essentially dead draws. It's not much I could do with them at the current moment, or even at all. So eventually I have to figure out what these are for. But right now, I know they're for deck thinning, because I made the deck thinner by using the effects. Now I'm doing stuff, but then when I look in the graveyard, it's like, wait, there's a magical mallet in there, and there's Thunder Dragon. What if that's the purpose? I'm supposed to use magical mallets with Thunder Dragons, which it is. And then, you negated monster effect, you have Ultimate Falcon doing his thing, draw, hey, Thunder Seahorse. This is interesting. Right? Pitch it. Add the horses. Alright, so the deck is a lot thinner now than it was before. So there's 6 less thunder monsters in the deck. From a 40 card deck, so I have a 34 card deck. But if you count the rest of the cards, obviously 6. And then you got 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards out the deck. So now the deck is currently 30 cards. So right now I'm playing with a 30 card deck and I have these cards. I can still normal summon, so I can normal summon the Thunder Seahorse if I want. And be able to attack, battle, do some stuff. And I'm pretty much understanding what the deck is supposed to do. Obviously is to get the ultimate Falcon on the field. And with the deck thinning, I have a 30 card deck right now that I have nothing but good stuff. What's my next card? Red Screen, that's good. Rank Up Magics, that's always good. Full Force Virus, really good, right? Rank Up Magic, Red Screen, Magical Mallet, right? Which will work with what? These cards. And get the consistency 1-for-1, and you get the idea. So once you figure out how the deck functions, or at least some of the basic plays of the deck, you'll be able to play the deck and be able to do pretty good. Experience matters. That's always important. The experience, knowing how to activate certain cards, how to combo cards in general. Because if you're not really good at the game, you're not going to be good with any deck that's given to you if you're not good at the game, understanding how to do certain summons. There's some people that don't know how to link summon, how to exceed summon. So don't expect them to do much because they don't know how to do all the different summons. So I can't give somebody who never pendulum summoned a pendulum deck and expect them to do good with it. Now they can. That's part of this video. Obviously, is the idea is like, even if you don't know how to use a pendulum deck, you can figure it out. Part of it is by reading. Sometimes, for whatever reason, you have to do things quickly. I always have that scenario where, I have to pick up a deck. Somebody gives me a deck, and I have to figure it out. Like, there might be a scenario where it's like, I got a tag duel, tag duel with a friend of mine, and it's like, sometimes it's because they want me to play a deck. Instead of me playing my decks, they want me to play a deck. It's like, hey, play this deck. It'd be fun. I want to see this deck in action. It's like, all right, I'll play that deck. And sometimes, not just that, sometimes people want to see what I can do with the deck. They want to see how the deck functions in somebody else's hand because, they have their experiences and they have their ideas of how to play the deck, but they're interested to see what other people can do. Not everyone plays the same deck the same way. You know what I mean? There's people who play decks properly. There's people who play decks improperly. This deck, for example, a friend of mine, we were tag dueling. He didn't have a deck, and I lent him this deck. And I was like, this deck is relatively simple. It's like you just got to get Ultimate Falcon on the field. So you use, the basic stuff of the deck. Any of the rank up magic cards. With last tricks, there's a good amount of cards in here that obviously will let you get last tricks. And it's like, essentially you just need those 2 cards, Just need rank up magic. There's Astro Force. So there's 6 rank up magics in the deck. Because you have 3 Astro Force, 3 Skip Force, and then of course you got the last tricks. A way to get last tricks is by using Mimicry. So Mimicry is like another copy of last tricks, because once this goes to graveyard, you you banish it, and then you can search a rare after card from your deck to hand. You can search this out, last tricks obviously. A way to get this to the graveyard is through Foolish Burial, or by discarding it by a card effect, or using Tribulanius. This will let you send it to the graveyard, then you can banish it and get its effect. So, obviously there's synergy in there. But the main goal is obviously to get Ultimate Falcon on the field. Just 2 cards. The whole deck revolves around 2 cards. A rank up spell card and last tricks. Just so you can summon the Ulti Falcon.